Good afternoon. My name is Katie Cook, and today I will be talking about why we do not need to ban abortions and how this is my body and my choice. Women have a stigma on them anytime they consider getting an abortion. They are called murderers, manslaughter, baby killers. They have such a strong stigma that a lot of people are discouraged and don't end up getting an abortion. But abortion is not murder. It is not manslaughter, and this is our bodies. No one else should be able to control what we do. The ban and stigma on abortions is insane. It is so bad that rape and incest expectations are vanishing. We used to let people who got raped or have incest in their family, they used to be allowed to get abortions if they deemed worthy. Now they don't even have an option. It is quickly dwindling. Many states have banned it altogether, and it is not fair. There's also a stigma against mental health, as if there's not enough already. People are saying that women who get an abortion are more susceptible to depression and anxiety, which is just simply not true. And adoption rates. If we ban abortions, adoption rates are going to go through the roof. And there is proof in that in my next slide. So the reality of abortions is not as grim as it may seem. Rape and incest, of course, need to have their options. If they would like to keep the baby, they should be allowed to. If they don't, then they should have every right to get rid of it. And they should have every right and means to get an abortion, whether or not they have help or if the state pays for it, then they should have that right. But they should have options. And abortions do not increase anxiety or depression. According to APA.org, women who are denied an abortion are more likely to experience higher levels of anxiety, lower life satisfaction, and lower self-esteem. So clearly, abortions do not affect our mental health. If anything, abortions help keep it at bay. If you were to have an unexpected child and you did not have the means to pay for that child or bring it into the world and you were not ready for this, that would take a huge toll on your mental health. How would you feel if someone told you, well, you made a mistake, sucks, guess you gotta take care of it? Which of course I understand, but it would be a lesser quality life for that child to be brought into a world with a mother who cannot care for it. And that brings me to the next thing. Abortions have helped decrease adoption rates. According to gutmasher.org, adoption rates declined 34 to 37% when states that repealed restrictive abortion laws lifted, and birth rates decreased by 5 to 8%. That is because we weren't forced to have children that we didn't want, and then we can't take care of it. So in order to give it a good life, we would put them into the adoption system. With abortions being legal and allowed, this allows women and mothers to have options. And if they know that they cannot take care of this child, they can end the pregnancy and they will not have to put yet another child into an overfilled system, where many children's life quality is pretty low as well. What happens if we ban abortions? We will see an increase in maternal deaths. We will see an increase in women's mental health and anxiety, and adoption rates will go through the roof. As for the increase in maternal deaths, that will increase due to unsafe abortion practices and health issues. From hrw.org, Margaret Ruth shares the stories and examples of life where abortions are illegal in third world countries. For example, she shares the stories of a young 16-year-old female who died of leukemia because the doctors refused to give her chemo because of her pregnancy, and then they refused to terminate her pregnancy because it was against the law. This caused the death of a 16-year-old girl who had her whole life ahead of her just because she had leukemia. We are not sure if she would have kept the baby or if she would have gotten rid of it, whether or not she got leukemia, but she did, and she needed to terminate the pregnancy in order to survive, and her country still refused her the right. Her mother states, "They murdered my daughter. They let her die." So not only did you take the life of a young teenage girl who didn't get to experience her life, you also took the daughter of a loving mother who did not deserve that. So this is proof that we cannot ban abortions, especially when it comes to health. There are many cases where abortions are had for the sake of a woman's health, and that is more than okay, because why should we deteriorate our women's lives and take away from it and have some of them even die because some people consider these abortions murder? We have to take a stand. It is our responsibility, especially us women, to take a stand and fight for what's our right. Men and women alike need to join together, sign petitions. There are so many petitions online that are going towards the government and the governors of each state to say, this is my body, you don't get to control it. Why would you let an old man in the government control your body? That is not fair, and that's not right. So take those petitions and sign them, share them, spread the word, protest, do peaceful protesting. You can go out and walk through the city with signs. There are so many ways to peacefully protest, and we need to spread word. We are in control. This is our bodies, our lives, our decisions. We do not need to let someone else make these choices for us. So take a stand, get together, and fight for our rights. Thank you so much for your time, and get out there and make a difference.